But first, before we get into any of that, we have to cover some stories. And the first one off the rip is Mike McCarthy. Cowboys had no answer for astronomical Ravens rushing effort. Oh, Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, he didn't game plan good? What a surprise. The man cannot coach. The man has low football IQ. We've been known this. Oh, and why would Mike McCarthy think, with extra time to prepare for this game? They haven't played. When was the last time the Cowboys had played? So we had all this extra time to get ready for the Ravens game, and what does he do? He gets blown out. They had no answer. Did they not watch any film? Mike McCarthy, did you watch any film on the Ravens? You didn't know they run the ball? You thought they throw the ball? Have you watched Lamar Jackson? He hasn't thrown for over 200 yards in any game. So why the heck would you be why the heck would the Cowboys have no answer for the Ravens rushing efforts? That's all they do. That's all they do is run the ball. So once again, Mike McCarthy showing his low football IQ, why he should be fired. Mike McCarthy was probably watching the Steelers-Ravens game from last week and was probably like, oh, this is what everybody's worried about? This is the big, bad, dangerous Ravens team? They've got nobody. He was probably game planning off of that one. He was like, oh my God, RG3's their quarterback. Trace McSorley's their quarterback. This is who we have to defend against? Mike McCarthy, no, they have Lamar Jackson. They had COVID the last time they played. That's why they weren't running the ball good, and that's probably why the game plan in the film you watched didn't help you out in this game. So Mike McCarthy, so trash, needs to be fired. Oh my goodness. Let's move on because I could talk trash about that man all day. Here we go. Doug Pederson, he's naming Jalen Hurts as the starting quarterback this week versus the Saints. How crazy is that? Is it warranted? Should this happen? Well, we're going to be watching film on the Eagles, specifically every single Jalen Hurts pass, basically. So we'll see if he does deserve to be the starter over Carson Wentz. Now, Carson Wentz, they paid this man $35 million. He's still getting paid. So this was, they extended him for $100 million a couple of years back. So, they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they start Carson Wentz, they're going to lose the division. If they don't start him, then they're wasting all that money. But, in the grand scheme of things, this is a team. Your sole focus is to go out there and win every single week. And Carson Wentz, he hasn't been doing it this season. Now, can he take, the entire offseason just to kind of get back to where he was before he started playing like this in the 2020 season? Definitely, possibly. But for right now, the division is still up for grabs. Carson Wentz is not getting it done. You have to move on. Kind of like what the Dolphins did. They say, Fitzpatrick, that week, 2 weeks ago when he started over Tua, the Dolphins are like, hey, he gives us the best chance to win right now. We have to rock with him because, we're in the hunt for the playoffs. We got to do what we got to do. There's 52, 53 men on an NFL roster. It's not just one person like in basketball where, if you bench LeBron James, you're going to lose. You need LeBron to play to have a chance to win. Football is different, folks. One person does not make or break a team. It's a team effort. So Jalen Hurts getting the starts, I think, is the right decision. Doug Pederson making it, I know it's a tough decision on him. He's really kind of not wanting to make this decision. That's why he's kind of held off as long as he could last week. Carson Wentz forced him. He had no other option. Had to put Jalen Hurts in this week, and he's going to be starting next week. I think it's the right call. Alrighty, this is why we're not going to be worrying about the Steelers at all, folks. Can we relax? It's one loss. A lot of teams have one losses. Majority of the teams have more than one loss. Can we take a deep breath on the Steelers team? Mike McCarthy unhappy with Steelers drops. In that game, Eric Ebron himself, he dropped like 5 passes. So Steelers receivers were all dropping passes in the game against Washington. That's why they lost. And then this is a quote from Mike Tomlin. Quote, they can catch the ball or they can get replaced by those that will catch it. The man's not playing around. He's a coach. He's a proven winner. He has not gone he has not had a losing season in his coaching career. He's got a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to win in this league. So, he's a no-nonsense coach. I think players buy into his attitude. He treats the players like actual people, but, when you're doing things you're not supposed to, he'll call you out on it, and I think players respect that. So, the Steelers are going to respond phenomenally. After this quote, I can tell you, watch the Steelers this week. I'm going to be riding big on the Steelers this week. Makeup game, get back to where they were. Mike Tomlin's like, hey, there's no smiles. Yeah, we were 11-0, but no more. We've got a loss, so we have to start acting like a losing football team now. And that's when Mike Tomlin gets angry. That's when Mike Tomlin pushes his players. So watch out for the Steelers this week, folks. This is a good quote by Mike Tomlin. You know, he wanted to go undefeated. He didn't want to lose any game, and he's not making any excuses. He could have been out here be like, yeah, we probably could have won the game, but, you know, the receivers, they were just dropping balls. No, he's like, hey, if you're going to drop passes, then you're going to be out. We're 4 wide receivers deep. We can find more tight ends. We can find more players that want to be in the starting lineup, catching balls from a Super Bowl MVP, you know, Hall of Fame quarterback. So next man up if we need them. So love the Steelers this week, folks. Alrighty, 2 more. Saints quarterback Drew Brees progressing well in his rehab for the lung puncture and fractured ribs. He's not going to practice today, but he is eligible to come off of IR right now. They could ramp him up Thursday to see how he feels, but a more realistic target to play has been week 15, so that's good. This is something that I encourage the Saints to do. Taysom Hill's looking very good. We're going to look at Taysom Hill again in our Wednesday film study today just to kind of make sure his arm is still good, everything is still going good. But from the last 2 weeks, he's been looking good. They're 3-0 with starting him. There's really no rush to bring Drew Brees back. Let this man get fully healthy like you did last season. Teddy Bridgewater 5-0, Taysom Hill 3-0 this season, so give this man some more games. As long as he's winning, there's no need to put Drew Brees back out on the field. They've got a two game lead over the Packers for the number 1 seed. That's fantastic. So if they beef one game with Taysom Hill, all right, now we put Drew Brees back in and we're still good to go. So I love that the Saints are taking it slow with Drew Brees. I think that's the perfect strategy for it. And, you know, Taysom Hill, he's winning games. He's looking good. He's not just running. He's passing the ball and looking very good. Yes, his running attack is top notch, no doubt there. But his arm is, you know, the thing that was kind of the big red flag, and he proved that he does have a good one. So I think the Saints are making the right decision here. All right, then our final story of the week. Daniel Jones is expected to play this week, bearing a setback. First step is today's light practice walkthrough. So Daniel Jones probably replacing Colt McCoy this week. And this wasn't a big injury for Daniel Jones, so I don't think they need to go and take it real slow like the Saints should be doing with Drew Brees. Daniel Jones, younger kid, you know, he tried to even come back out there the first time he got injured, said he couldn't go. So this isn't a major injury, a little hamstring tweak, but he should be good to go this week. And, I mean, the Giants really can't sit him for another week. You know, Washington beating the Steelers. Now Washington is keeping pace for that first seed in the NFC East. So the Giants really can't take a game off, be like, all right, let's sit Daniel Jones for another week. Colt McCoy really hasn't been getting it done. Yeah, they beat Seattle, but the running attack was kind of the main factor, and the defense only allowing 12 points. So I don't really think Colt McCoy was too big of, you know, why the Seahawks lost against the Giants and why the Giants beat the Seahawks. So Daniel Jones coming back, I think it's good. He should be fine. I don't think they're pushing him. If he isn't looking good to go, I think the Giants would make the decision to sit him one more week just to make sure. But yeah, Washington keeping pace in that lead in the NFC East, definitely, you know, testing Daniel Jones, maybe pushing him out there a little bit sooner. I don't think so, but possibly. But I'm excited to see Daniel Jones play. I mean, we haven't seen this man play in 2 weeks, and this man is very good. I love watching this man play. I love watching the Giants play, just really in general. I think what they're doing over there is fantastic. I think this rebuild is going quicker than anybody expected, and you know, they're going to be top notch next season, absolutely, with Saquon Barkley back. So Daniel Jones pretty much playing this week. Alrighty.